What's going on, guys? Today, I was waiting on her to say something because she usually does, but you know what? Whenever you're expecting it, it doesn't come. Welcome to the American Horror Story episode 4. Shit, I forgot the name of this episode. It'll be in the title. Something Christmassy, right? So this episode was actually pretty okay. You know, I can't really pick out too many flaws with it. Other than the fact that it really didn't feel like American Horror Story. You know, if you go and watch Asylum or, you know, any of the earlier seasons, I guess, of American Horror Story, or I don't know, just and then watch this, it really doesn't feel like American Horror Story at all. Whether that be due to the quality, the characters, you know, the storyline, I don't know. It didn't really have a supernatural storyline, which I think they could have went in that direction maybe a little bit, or just made it a little bit scarier. I don't know. But like I said, overall, not too many complaints. So we start off with a complete rip of the whole Logan Paul Suicide Forest situation. So I was liking that because I was like, okay, yeah, if Ryan Murphy's going to bring like awareness to things going on in real life, then yeah, go ahead and do this. That's completely fine with me. You know, let these douchebags, because unfortunately, this isn't an overdrawn like TV scenario. Like, there are people like this, YouTube channels, not just Logan Paul's. I mean, I don't watch his stuff at all. I've just heard about the you know, the Suicide Forest situation and things like that, of course, and seen a little bit, but yeah, unfortunately, there are 100% YouTube channels out there that are like this, you know, unfortunately, or just different social media platforms, and somehow they are really popular. I don't know. I mean, Vanessa, we're talking about that. We don't know who watches them. It's got to be all little kids, right? But anyway, so yeah, it was nice to see, okay, he's going to bring attention to just how stupid these people are, and we're going to get to see them get what they deserve throughout the episode, which is pretty much how it plays out, which was really satisfying to see. So, oh yeah, and I kind of, the thing about it that's unfortunate, I was thinking, as much as this is bringing awareness, I guess, to a degree, to how stupid these people are, at the same time, it's just making people like Logan Paul, which is largely, you know, of course, who it was absolutely based off of. He's probably loving it. He doesn't even care, like, you know, that they're, I don't know, making shit on him or whatever. As long as he's getting attention, bad, good, I'm sure he's loving it. So he's like, yeah, American Horror Story was based off of me. If he even heard about it, I don't know. I don't care. Anyway. So then you get Danny Trejo coming in, which was awesome to have him in the episode, right? That's a big actor, right? Danny Trejo is iconic. He's a legend, you know. And I've only seen him in a few things. I never watched like the Machete movies, I guess, that he's most famous for. But even though I know, like, oh, Danny Trejo, he's a big fucking deal, right? So that was really cool to have him in here. And then I guess you just get to see them do their douchebag stuff, try to figure out how everybody gets over the whole Suicide Forest thing, which they did this thing where it was like they were doing what was it? It was pretty funny, the no homo situation thing, where I guess that's something I wasn't even aware of, but I assume it's something that people actually do, but they try to act gay or a certain way to get sympathy from people or like from people. I don't know, but it was, I guess, because Ryan Murphy had something to do with it, right? And I guess it's not offensive. I guess it's just actually something that people do. So it's pretty funny, that little montage there. So anyway, so the part I was thinking could have been a little bit creepier was, so whenever Danny Trejo, he ends up wanting to go, of course, kill these kids or whatever for a completely different situation than the Suicide Forest. It didn't directly connect, but it did connect with how their audience responded to them. You know, we'll get to that at the end. They went through a lore book, right? Where they were looking at like how Santa Claus is like actually like bad in his origins or something. I'm sure like Krampus or some a pagan thing. And that was interesting, you know, and it was creepy, you know. I was getting a little creeped out whenever I heard that, but they made Danny Trejo just a regular, you know, serial killer, which is fine. I'm not saying they had to go like the supernatural Krampus route, because maybe that wouldn't have even fit, you know. But I wish that Danny Trejo had like dressed up and looked creepier or something, because he just looked like a generic killer Santa, you know. I mean, at least it was Danny Trejo, right? So it elevates it right there. But they should have, I don't know, done something off the pagan stuff, or maybe they will at some point. But that just felt kind of like getting you excited for something that didn't really even happen, you know. But the kills, I like the kill where he wraps him up in the the lights, the wire, that looked pretty cool, you know, pretty good for the whole holiday theme, I guess, that they were going with as much as they could in filming a Christmas episode in California. And then let's see, the one where the guy gets his neck twist in the fridge, it didn't look very good. I don't think that you could quite like break somebody's neck with one hand and twist it all around, and it just looked like it needed more force to it, right? And I don't know if the spine would have broke out of the back or out of the front or whatever, but it still looked cool, right? Well, it looked all right. So, you know, but anyway, so let's see. And then we get down to the, so once they figure out Danny Trejo's going through the house and killing everybody, I like how there was the black guy and the kid. My girlfriend watches him on Glee. I saw him on Glee too. I'm not sure his name, but he was a good actor in there as well. And I like the way that the black guy or just everybody, all the guys really, whenever they see the other members getting killed or whatever, they kind of react pretty realistic to it. They're like, oh no, they're just pranking us, right? Because they're doing a YouTube channel, so you would expect that they do pranks like this all the time. So they kind of don't buy into it. They're like, oh yeah, it's just a prank. And they just kind of sit there and they're like, slowly to get to the point where you're like, okay, well maybe we should call the cops, right? Because that's kind of how you'd be. Like a serial killer in your house killing people, you know, would probably be on the bottom of the list of what you were expecting. So I like how they just kind of sat there and were like, you know, oh no, that can't be what's happening, right? It can't be what's happening. And then I also really like how they had realistic ways where they couldn't get into contact with the police other than like, oh, we can't get signal, or what else? Or, you know, no, our phones are dead or something like that. They said, oh, we can't, the police they're just going to send a squad car out here. They're not going to rush it or anything because this house gets prank calls and stuff like that all the time because they're a YouTube channel that does stuff like that, right? So I really like that part, you know. It just adds that they put some thought process behind it, you know, and that's why I think like the last episode could have been a lot better if they had to just put some more thought into it, you know, or it felt like they put some more thought into it. So that was good. And then we end up with the guy from Glee being the last guy standing, and I like the part he gets shot through the leg with a crossbow and crawls back into the house, right? And he pulls out his phone, and that's another reason they can't get in contact with police, because the crossbow bolt went through the phone, you know, which was it's kind of ridiculous, but pretty funny too. And also another reason of what you're questioning, why can't he call anybody? Well, he's got a crossbow bolt through his phone. And then he even thinks to go online and try to get the help from the people in chat, but the chat, they're kind of like the boy who cried wolf, their audience at this point, where they're not really listening to him and they're enjoying watching them get killed, right? It's pretty brutal. But I like the twist where, you know, they get popular from people watching them get killed, you know, versus them showing other people get killed, you know. It's pretty nice. And there was a dumb part though. Once the kid from Glee, he gets lit on fire at the end. He gets up and runs to the pool. I believe it was him, to put himself out, but he was crawling in the house after he got shot with the crossbow bolt. So I guess the fire was enough it lit a fire under his ass where he was like, oh, I can suddenly run now. You know, because the pain of the fire was so much, I guess, maybe, but I don't know. It was just like, okay, whatever. So he runs to the pool, puts himself out, and I wonder if that's to get his character to be alive at a certain point. We don't know. We just see him laying face down in the pool. And then Danny Trejo as well makes it out at the end, you know, somehow. I guess he evaded the whole thing and didn't get caught. So it makes me wonder, will we see the kid from Glee again? Because I liked his character, you know, of course, because he wasn't one of the douchebags in the house. And then maybe we'll see Danny Trejo's character again, because we are having recurrent characters, I think, later on. At least I know we are for some episodes. So yeah, so that was basically it for the episode, I believe. You know, overall just an enjoyable, you know, one-off watch, you know, for sure. And definitely didn't have too many, like I said, some of the stupider moments like the other episodes where I felt stuff was a little bit better thought out. Let's see, they were drinking a lot of like shitty beer throughout the episodes. I noticed they're drinking like Bud Light and Michelob, which I guess is what people their age would be drinking, but it's like, come on, you guys are rich. Why are you drinking that cheap stuff, you know? I guess they had the White Claw in previous episodes, so they couldn't do White Claw again, but I don't know. So yeah, but no, I'm just being silly. One thing I wanted to add, whose head went where reminded at the end of the episode with the Christmas tree and all the body parts on it? That's either going to be a scene in the new Dexter season, right? Because it's Christmas or winter themed, right? or who just thought, well, that looks like something out of Dexter, right? It just did, or that's where my head went anyway. With the white tree and the blood and stuff, it looked really cool visually. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it. We're door dashing right now, so I've got to get and do that probably better, so I don't go on too long for this. But yeah, as far as American Horror Story goes, I didn't want to make it what this channel is all about, but it's turning into a big portion of our content lately. So maybe we'll do a American Horror Story what is it, tier list video from the season soon. Anyway, I'm gonna get to it, guys, and I will see you in the next one.